Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our cozy little corner of the internet. I'm Pen and today I'll be reading Leap of Faith by B010203. Here's the summary. Isuku finally lets go, but he doesn't realise someone watches him fall. I hope you guys enjoy and let's get into this. Make sure to take care of yourself since this does have some trigger warnings of drugs, suicide and descriptions of gore. Hope you guys enjoy, make sure to take care of yourself and I'll see you next time if you don't watch this. Man in the mirror. The city doesn't dare make a sound louder than a murmur. Drunks littered the sidewalk, passed out or dead, Isuku didn't care. Scattered needles decorated the ground beneath his feet as he walked. The teen's eyes glued down to his shoes. The bright red colour of his sneakers looked maroon in the lighting. Crunching boomed from the desolate streets as he stepped on each needle, glass shattering underneath the pressure. The night breeze sung through the thin fabric of his hoodie, the temperature making the teen shiver violently. His arms wrapping around each other over his chest as he continued down the street, not really knowing exactly where he was going. Mindlessly walking down the street, Isuku couldn't help but chuckle pitifully. This was really it, huh? Life was cruel, but he held on. Through everything, Isuku kept it together by whatever means was necessary. The scars etched into his body told stories Isuku wouldn't dare murmur. The trauma is woven into his every move, every stutter, every flinch, living with him as one. He'd done everything to hold on, to get through this, to fucking live. He'd make it through this. He'd tell himself he could. Isuku didn't want to consider the possibility of falling apart. He couldn't. He fucking couldn't. Alas, here he was, untangled yet matted down. The street lamps almost flashbanged Isuku as he stared up at the building, the pile of organized earth almost taunting him, snickering at his relationship with it. The irony of it all was the icing on the cake. This very building where his hero, his role model, his only father-like figure in the boy's life, All Might, crushed his soul, completely obliterated all hope he had, and made him feel like life was nothing. His entire dream was working towards nothing. His entire life he was working towards nothing but a fever dream. Isuku knew it was true. Isuku knows he can never be a hero, but he wanted to live in that lie a little longer. He wanted to convince himself he could do it. He was going to be a hero. He was going to make it so his mum could finally take a day off, so he could eat a hot meal, so he could prove everyone wrong, right? Of fucking course, this is where it came to a halting end. Salty tears streamed down Izuku's face, his eyes burning as his chest ached with a nauseating, horrid feeling, one that could only be described as hopelessness and delusion mixed with jealousy. With a shaky hand, Izuku leaned on the stairwell handrail as he climbed up, floor after floor, higher and higher, closer and closer to the one thing he longed for yet feared for the most. Expressionless, tears kept flowing, carving rivers down his face. Every thump of Izuku's heart made him anxious. The sound echoing through his eardrums, the methodic beat hypnotizing him to keep going. The door to the roof was heavy, the teen putting all his weight against it to open it. Squeezing through the tiny crack, Isuku stumbled onto the rooftop. The icy breeze instantly chilled through the teen's bones yet again, and his jaw chattered as he shrunk in on himself. A contempt feeling washed over Isuku, one of acceptance. The teen wanted to sprint to the edge and throw himself off, but he knew better. This was his last moment. His last moments were going to be peaceful and beautiful, not rushed. The distance to the ground would normally make Isuku queasy. The teen's fear of heights seemingly evaporated. And the cement below was almost calling for him, enticing him to take that leap. The city lights twinkled in the distance, and the faint sound of cars below were drowned out by the whistling of the wind as Isuku ran his hand along the edge of the rooftop, placing himself on it so his legs dangled below. There was no pit in his stomach, no sickly feeling, nothing. It was a little odd, nonetheless. Isuku brushed it off. The teen took in the beauty of the aroma around him, and the nightly fog glistening just the right amount as bats flew amongst the clouds. Taking a lighter, the teen lit a joint, and the joint he had brought, taking a long drag. The smoke suffocated him, the drug burning his throat as his eyes watered. Instantly he felt lightheaded as the life surrounding him slurred and slowed, as if he was glitching. Letting the ash fall into his sweatpants, burning holes into it as a result. It burnt his thighs, sinking into his flesh until the flame went out. A soft sizzle echoed as clotted blood drew in, desperate for an attempt to heal. The smell of burnt flesh wavered through the air. Isuku took a moment to just exist. No pain, physical or otherwise, mattered in this moment. Right now, he was just him and him alone. He was going to do something. There was something almost poetic about it all. A boy going against all odds, him against the world. Except in this story, he doesn't win. He doesn't make it. He's not the protagonist or the main character. He's just a Deku. In this story, he succumbs to every demon he's ever faced. He becomes another statistic, and he gives up on chasing an unachievable dream. He dies early, an early, pitiful death, not at the hands of a villain, not by accident. No, it was a murder. His killer, the man in the mirror. You would think that falling to your death would be a terrifying experience. What they don't tell you is that after a couple of seconds of the gravity hauling you to the earth, you stop getting that sickling squelch in your stomach. You stop feeling like you're plummeting to your ever-waiting eventual demise. You just feel the air pushing against you, flowing carelessly through your hair, but your body weightless, giving you a vivid, slightly nerve-wracking illusion that you're floating, when in reality you're drifting closer and closer to extinction. The tranquil realization that there was really nothing you can do to save yourself. It was truly peaceful. Then you reached the ground. You died. Isuku was dead. I watched him die out of reach, plummeting to the earth with that look, so contempt and blissful. I watched him hit the ground. I watched his brain splatter over the pavement. His eyes exploded on impact, and how his skull became caved in and deformed. I watched how red stained everything within a square meter of his body. Soft drops dripping off the leaves of the garden, and as an eerie silence settled over the streets. I heard screams from passers-by. The crowd that had watched hopelessly as a 14-year-old boy took his own life and went on with their lives. The people filtering out after they saw the climax. Whispers filled the streets of people who scurried to call a hero, an ambulance, anyone that would help. Not Katsky, though. Katsky's ears ringed. His nausea getting the best of him as he threw up beside the path. raising his trembling hand to wipe his mouth as he spits in an attempt to get rid of the taste in his mouth. Dizziness caused the teen to stumble as he took off away from the scene, and the only emotion he could feel was a pang of guilt, of gut-wrenching guilt like no other could conjure. Guilt that a decade of bullying and dehumanizing someone couldn't make him feel. No. This was something beyond what Katsky could ever comprehend. He told him to do that. He caused this. His fault. The thumping of his shoes on the pavement brought back the fleeting images of Isuku hitting the ground. The sound of when his body and the earth made contact. The greenery around him reminded the blonde of the boy's forest locks. The pebbles intertwined in the concrete below resembling the constellation of freckles the green boy had. The ones he had. His stomach dropped into the depths of hell. Tears swelling in his eyes, the salty liquid burning with a searing rage as they fell, carving rivers into the blonde's cheeks. Katsky didn't know what or who he was angry at. Actually, he did. It was mostly himself. Fuck. Or maybe even Isuku for taking his stupid, idiotic advice. Fuck. The curse rang through the dim alleyway. His throat hoarse and his voice raspy. Angrily, without thinking, the blonde punched the brick wall beside him. The teen's knuckles split, blood oozing over his hand as it slowly dripped onto the pavement. The same pavement Izuku's own blood was on. The same ground Isuku had taken his life on. He punched the wall again and again, the pain in his hand taking his mind off of the one in his chest. Interchanging hands as the teen pounded the solid rock, beating the wall as it reflected an image of himself. Blood smeared on the brick as he continuously hit it, repeatedly over and over, beat after beat. Katsky relentlessly swung punch after punch, not exactly knowing what he wanted to happen as a result. The air burned his throat as he breathed, making his rage bubble over. His punches become more erratic. Helplessly, Isuku begged to a god he didn't believe in. He did not believe in for any chance of forgiveness, for any way to atone for all he has done wrong. He knew there was no way. Still, he stuck to the wall. He struck the wall to beat all the pounding in his ears, letting the ache in his hands numb the one in his heart. He was the one that leaked onto him, that poisoned him, the one he wished would subside. The pain he felt transcended any feeling really. It was a world of his own, one that Katsky didn't think he would have to delve into for a long time. The psychological pain was more than despair or anger. It was a seething regret and longing for someone who you killed from your own hands. It was a feeling of being too late, of pushing someone up to the edge. He pushed him off that ledge. He knew he had no right to be upset. He knew, okay? Yet, as Katsky looked down at his mangled, bloody hands, he couldn't help but smile to himself. I look just like him. A sadistic chuckle left the blonde's lips as his legs buckled down and his knees thudding to the ground. What the fuck did I do? Okay, everyone. That was the one-shot Leap of Faith. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was 1,773 words to be exact. I really liked it. It's a pretty new story, so I would recommend you check it out in the description below. I've got the link there. This is probably going to be the video that pushes us over the 1,000 subscriber mark, which is just unbelievable. Like, what the fuck? Seriously. But anyway, if we do get over that 1,000 subscriber mark by when I post this video, the next video will most likely be the 1,000 subscriber special. But it's already 7,000 words long, and I don't know how much longer it's going to be. I'm serious. It's probably going to be something like 10,000 words long. And considering it took me 14 minutes to read less than 2,000 words, we're in for a treat for that one. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to take care of yourself, because I know that could be triggering to some people. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!